threatening, so if Midnight isn't careful about how they end up playing RPS with MVD, things are going to get very scary very fast, as you know, with that down throw at 160 leading into the up tilt on every character in the cast.
So starting off on PS2, MVD already putting that C4 right underneath one of the platforms, trying to control the space, and you'll see that MVD will be trying to limit play to one half of the stage.
Midnight with a relatively sizable lead here to start, just shouldn't get too overzealous. Things are going quite well so far though.
Yeah, not too bad. Already playing in that mid-range game, daring MVD to go in and trying to catch him overextending, as MVD just doesn't manage to air dodge around that E-flame.
Yeah, I really like the placement of these explosive flames, trying to catch MVD from mashing out of hit stun.
Auto reticle will just soar right over MVD's head. We saw him attempt the up tilt, and Midnight's drift wasn't too far away, but is going to make use of that crouch, trying to avoid the back air, but gets up just at the wrong moment.
Very nice patience from Midnight, just holding center stage and continuing to hold the threat.
Close range E-flame as well. Cannot contest that up smash, but Midnight is able to make it back to ledge without too much trouble.
Smart of MVD to get that up smash out early, as you can't punish that explosive flame on shield. It is +2.
One of the things we saw from Midnight's gameplay yesterday was that they're such a fan of these teleport angles, and against a character like Snake who can throw out a wall, that can be very, very useful. Not only with your movement, but making MVD careful with how many up smashes and mortars he throws out in the first place.
And this spacing so far in neutral has been absolutely beautiful for Midnight, just taking any small things that they can, never pushing too hard, but holding a very nice lead. Unfortunately holds an unlucky 25 for grabbing a nade. And things are actually much closer now. MVD really getting in Midnight's face.
Yeah, after that singular whiff punish, MVD starting to make this back, that C4 only tacking on more damage. Midnight is trying to discourage grenades, but MVD is just playing around it.
Alright, the dash attack to seize control of center stage. MVD is unfortunately going to eat that E-flame though. Even across the board here.
Shields out the duration of that, threatening with some of these tilts again.
The landing back air gonna get hard punished by Midnight. Snake does not have aerials that are very good on shield. Most of them are mix-ups.
Yeah, and we might be seeing MVD go higher than normal with his recoveries, even for a Snake player, as Palutena's up air, one of the longest lasting and most potent kill moves in an entire kit, but the back air from Midnight is gonna do the job anyway.
Yeah, that corner pressure just really making things hard for MVD. If he can seize this stock early, things are going to go a little bit better, but Midnight doing the same thing as last stock. Really holding it.
We see MVD trying to make use of this crouch once again, but Midnight not biting. Immediately knows when to shut off the back air and start to play grounded.
Yep. And when Midnight is playing grounded, holds shield a lot of the time, and MVD hasn't really punished with grab yet.
Trying to make use. That does find the back air on top of the platform. Only 80% to make up, so Midnight not out of the woods just yet.
This is a scary situation. Unfortunately gets the nair instead of what I think was supposed to be back air.
Down throw to nair. I like the decision from MVD to just put nades on the platforms and shut down some of these teleport cancels before they even begin, but Midnight's just finding his way in over and over again.
We got the grenade pull from MVD to avoid teching there on the right platform. Very smart stuff.
Just out of pivot grab range.
Yep. Each chip makes things a little bit harder, though.
MVD punting with an up tilt. F tilt will get Midnight off stage again. Just pulled out the shield in time. He's stopping his dashes at frame perfect moments, but still has to nickel and dime his way to get even close to Midnight.
Yeah, absolutely. Midnight not giving up spacing for free by any means. Really just holding tight that whole game, holding center stage. Never gave MVD just the free empty landing. Always had shield out in time for those dash attacks, those up tilts, those F tilts. Couple occasions where Midnight did end up getting caught, but they worked their way through it and played that last stock incredibly well.
Yeah, and MVD did start to claw his way back. Good preventative gameplay. Didn't want to overextend at any point, but that one time when his spot dodge got caught by that F tilt, which would have beaten both options, just had to shield the whole thing and unfortunately picked the wrong option. It's so difficult to make that sort of calculation over and over again because, again, you shield, you might get grabbed, you might get crossed up with one of Paolo's numerous aerial options. You just need to make the right call over and over again when you're in that 170 range.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if you're MVD, you're not too upset about that game because it seemed like he was starting to get a lot of information on those last two stocks, just figuring out a lot more about where Midnight wanted to put themselves. So I think walking into game two, MVD is going to be a little bit more confident and not too disgruntled by the results of game one, especially, being someone who's been at it for so long in competition.
Certainly, there's a lot of information that can be taken from Midnight's game one, most notably how their recovery patterns are faring and how they respond to some of these grenades in the first place. If MVD can start his approaches a little bit closer in the space of E-Flames or a little bit farther away from auto reticles, that's when he can really start to get things going.
This game starting pretty much the same as the first, Midnight with the ranged aerial rushdown, just that kind of zoned approach.
Good frame trap from Midnight to find the grab. MVD going high once again, but to his detriment as Midnight picks him out of the air to take the first stock.
Yeah, Midnight taking their time on those platforms. Waiting, getting the shark, because Snake can go very high, but Snake can't do very much on the way down versus a button the size of Palutena up air.
If Palu gets her, if she gets her double jump timed just right, may be able to cover both the normal release from Cypher as well as a B reverse grenade pull. Nearly perishes again.
That E-Flame was disgusting, man. Oh, pretty unfortunate DI on the throws thus far from MVD. Midnight with an incredibly well-placed E-Flame again. Gonna hold a 2-stock lead here.
Does manage to claw one back with the up tilt, but MVD has dug himself into quite the hole already.
We have this full stage game still going on. A little odd that MVD would elect to play the full stage game so far behind, but is managing to chip out and kind of find his way back.
Yeah, I think we both anticipated a much riskier MVD, especially 2 stocks down and now only 1 stock down, but he's still playing okay, but that back throw is going to make life so difficult.
Very scary situation here. Doesn't get caught by the media up air, but gets caught by the second one. No resources. You can't do very much at the top there. Midnight 2-0. That second game was insanely clean.
Yeah, 3 stocks taken almost the same way. 2 very high up airs and an E-Flame near the top blast zone. MVD just struggled getting out of disadvantage, and Palu, as we said, one of the best jugglers in the entire game.
Yep.
MVD might just have to rethink his recovery patterns on the fly based on what Midnight's covering.
Absolutely. And I really don't know if Town and City was the counter pick, because I feel like Palutena uses those platforms better than most of the cast. I'd say a good 90% of the cast. Just because E-Flame off those platforms is absolutely incredible. She has a high enough jump that she can pressure that platform with fair and back air. She can elect to get dragged down nairs onto that platform here and there, as we saw at one point during the first stock, actually, but MVD footstooled out of it. And she really does just get a lot from that map. Although the ceiling is high and you want to avoid dying off the top to Palutena, the layout of the stage is so good for her.
Absolutely, and MVD should have gleaned already that Midnight already a fan of some of these teleport cancels, and Town might have just given him more opportunities to do so.
Yeah, exactly. Not even that many teleport cancels that game. Just kind of a raw whooping.
This time it is going to be back to PS2. Midnight able to get things going with that down throw fair.
Nice dash attack, realizing that MVD is going to be pushing a lot of buttons first in this neutral. Things were looking quite good for MVD until that mistech. Disadvantage once again, very rocky.
Just put a halt to all his momentum. Midnight able to get away from the C4 just in time.
I like it a lot. Had Midnight saved their double jump, that would have been absolutely disgusting. Nice, see catching the grenade, something I think people don't do as often as they should. Nice recognition of the position of the first C4, but gets whoopsie-dooed by the second one. Very tricky by MVD.
Yeah, I think Midnight may have figured that MVD was so close to grabbing the ledge, but just had time to get off the detonation.
Detonation, honestly one of the fastest moves in the game. That retreating up air at a ledge, gonna seize the stock. Snake, really tall, gonna get caught by buttons like that, unfortunately.
Midnight going in and grab hunting.
Nice.
Good air dodge from MVD to avoid that.
Teleport cancel, but MVD gonna punish the positioning.
And I love that trap from MVD, setting up both the C4 and a nade underneath the platform, making sure Midnight can't just drop down straight through, limiting his options and covering himself when he tried to approach.
Yeah, if MVD is going to get anywhere in this set, it's going to be from his ability to just kind of set up those really big traps on the fly, but Midnight's been getting through them very handily. Also, the DI on down throw from MVD has been really, really sus this whole time, and that's going to get scary.
Yeah, the new instant double jump tech I've heard does make it slightly easier, but it is still should be escapable. MVD catching that get up, well timed from him, and he takes the lead.
Nice. Pushes forward with that nair. Big up smash to catch the air dodge to ledge. MVD a little bit too high up there.
Yeah, and it's a good job from Midnight to not be fishing for that throughout the set, so he could get it at a crucial time.
He slightly misspaced that one down air and is now at 67 for it, looking for signs of life.
Drop down bear from the platform. Another fair just being stuffed out.
All right, yeah. Like I said, those traps on the fly. Just real quick, sets up the meaty bomb at the at roll distance from the ledge. Has the one bomb falling. Has Nikita coming in. Very smooth. Catches the two frame. MVD finally finding signs of life in this set with that one game.
Doing a great job to condition a certain recovery timing as well. Placing grenades at key spots for cancels. Forcing him to go low. And then just pestering Midnight with Nat Nikita near the ledge. This is still a best of 5 though, so MVD will need to win games 4 and 5 on Midnight's counterpick.
Yeah, exactly. Being down 2 games in a best of 5, never fun. Very, very scary for MVD here walking in because Midnight has Town open, and that map looked really, really scary for MVD, and I feel like he's probably not going to end up banning it if he counterpicked it game 2.
Yeah, likely not. I did see MVD, start to make some of the calculations to recover slightly differently, recover outwards a bit more as opposed to going on the stage. And that's some concept that you could apply to a Town game as well, but It's just a matter of execution and whether Midnight starts to juggle or put him towards the side blast zones. That'll dictate some of his habits.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. These lads are taking a little bit on the bends, but I think both of them just need a little bit of a breather after that game. I feel like that was the most intense game of the set in terms of how close it was, for sure. So I could totally feel why they both need it.
I think that's Snake matches in general. It just tends to be so close. Snake is a character that does not let you get away with too much of a lead with those trades and will keep the games close at any point, but still has some great win conditions in his back pocket as well. So it's unlikely and it's unusual to see such a dominant game such as the one we saw in game 2. Game 3 should be more the standard.
Yeah, exactly. But we do see the town band coming out from MVD. We're going to be playing this next game on Smashville. A little bit scary for Snake in terms of size, but having the lead on Smashville with Snake is very nice because there's not a lot of space people can use to run away from your projectiles and setup.
Especially with that central platform, C4 will cover nearly all of it. Palu's hitbox is thin enough to the point where she probably can get away with a couple things if she's standing on the very edge, but if it's well placed from MVD, that could be troublesome.
Yeah, the first stock is going to be the name of the game here, I feel. And Midnight getting the first stock started well with big juggle with a fat 61.
Grenade trade as well, saving him from that Palu string.
Ooh, slippery explosive flame there out of hit stun.
Beautiful placement from Midnight. It's not just a matter of picking the right option, it's placing it as well, and Midnight's stellar movement is enabling that.
Ooh, the movement from Midnight, just so aware of where everything is and the timings.
Well spaced fair on shield as well. That's going to be safe.
Yeah, at -4 on shield, there's absolutely nothing that Snake can hit that button with if Palutena spaces it or lands with it properly.
Manages to get around the mortar as well, avoids the detonation.
MVD seizing that stock a little bit faster than Midnight would have wanted, for sure. Not as much extra credit on the board as one would like. But MVD does get caught at the top of the map right off invincibility.
Yeah, but despite this early mistake, MVD did claw it back a little, but now it's Midnight back in the driver's seat. MVD struggling to make it down, does with that forward air, but again, not enough hits done at low percent to be able to continue anything.
And Midnight, the way they've been using these explosive flames to stall on grenade, it makes it meatier. It's very, very, very hard for a character like Snake who doesn't have much to get through to the stage fast.
MVD retreating to that other side of the stage, very aware of Midnight trying to go for the falling E-Flame. Great tomahawk grab as well.
Absolutely fantastic stuff from Midnight. Just good awareness of how MVD's been playing RPS.
Trying to duck down, but the auto reticle will still make its mark.
I really like that from Midnight, just resetting ledge invincibility so as not to overextend off the ledge versus Snake.
Yeah, sometimes for Snake, there's just a moment where they will have everything covered. You've missed your window, and it's a matter of picking the least bad option. So going next to a grenade and getting that reset can be crucial, but unfortunately for Midnight, just teleports right into that up smash, and MVD has this potentially back in his favor.
Yes, Midnight been using these trades to their favor there. Oh, very nice meaty up smash there. Yeah, the combos off the grenades from Midnight have been absolutely fantastic. And it makes these trades very worth it, but As MVD chips out, one of them is a little bit closer to kill percent rate.
Down tilt will get MVD into an uncomfortable situation again, and the up air, the story of this entire set. We saw it in game 2, we're seeing it again in game 4.
Yep.
MVD's struggles to land continue to be his downfall as he falls to Midnight 3-1.
Pretty wild stuff from Midnight there. We've got our first big upset of the bracket.
Yeah, insane to see. I don't think anyone would have pegged Midnight as the favorite going into the set, considering MVD's pedigree and his record, but, you know, Midnight did his best, took a fearsome opponent and dissected his game plan, exploited a weakness he saw in game 1 to utterly dominate game 2, and even after losing a close game 3, just went back to his old game plan. Converted so well off of MVD's setups, made his grenades almost his own tools.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
it was just over.
We saw those grenade nairs, grenade fairs